The crypto bull market is heating up as Robinhood has acquired Bitstamp crypto exchange to expand its global crypto footprint. And Kraken Exchange is getting ready to go public. And Wall Street powerhouse Franklin Templeton is looking at launching a new crypto fund which will invest in new altcoins beyond Ethereum. This is bullish. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. It supports the podcast and it doesn't cost you anything. Folks, we got some very bullish news today, and watch this video and listen to the podcast to the end because it's all big stuff. First up, Robinhood is acquiring Bitstamp, which is a crypto exchange that's based out of the UK and has serviced the EU market. And I remember using Bitstamp back in the day, 2017, 2018, to buy Bitcoin and other altcoins, including XRP. So Bitstamp has been around for a long time. At one point, they were a Ripple ODL partner. I believe they still are. Well, Robinhood's going to acquire them, and this is a smart move on Robinhood's part. They're looking to expand their global footprint. And of course they are. Everybody is in a race to get as much market share as possible because this asset class is only going to continue to grow. We're going to see more capital and investments come in. So here's what Robinhood tweeted out today. We're accelerating Robinhood's crypto worldwide expansion. Robinhood has officially entered into an agreement to acquire Bitstamp, a global cryptocurrency exchange with customers across the EU, UK, US, and Asia. And here's what Vlad Tenev, CEO and co-founder of Robinhood, had to say. We believe crypto will fundamentally reorganize the financial system, and we're acquiring Bitstamp to accelerate our vision. Soon we'll combine forces with Bitstamp's global footprint, core spot exchange, and industry-leading products like crypto as a service, institutional lending, and staking. Folks, that opening line there, he says, we believe crypto will fundamentally reorganize the financial system. Big things are ahead, my friends. In this bull market, I'm looking to make a significant return. I bought the dips, and I've been telling you guys what I've been doing, and I'm looking to sell the euphoric blow off top. I'll be laddering out, the same way I dollar cost average in. And then when the bear market comes back again, I'll take some of those profits, reinvest, and get ready for the next bull market. This thing is going to the next level. The writing is on the wall here. We are seeing massive institutions from Wall Street and all across the globe, stock exchanges, banks, investment firms are all participating. They're launching financial products such as ETFs. They're building with the technology, using it for tokenization and much more. So this is very big news and signs of a bull market, folks. Bull market vibes are here. Here's the next bullish news. Kraken Exchange is considering raising a final funding round ahead of a possible IPO. Remember last bull market cycle of 2020 into 2021? Who went public? Coinbase, and that was very bullish in the market. Kraken going public will be bullish. Now, it won't have the same level of excitement that Coinbase did because Coinbase is a larger brand, the largest exchange in the United States, and they had more visibility in the media and much more. But this would still be huge for the market, and I think we're going to see other crypto companies go public. Others that have been talked about include Circle, which is the issuer of USDC, also Ripple, although I think Ripple may need to wrap up their SEC lawsuit before they can do anything. But I think they're ready to go once that's done. So Bloomberg is reporting crypto exchange Kraken is in talks for pre-IPO fundraising round. The crypto exchange has talked about doing an IPO for several years. They also highlight here that Kraken is in a lawsuit with the SEC. So all of these things would have to get resolved for the most part. But I think Kraken sees the light at the end of the tunnel, that regulations are coming around. Gensler is losing power. He's losing in the courts. He and Elizabeth Warren have lost the narrative, and Democrats have turned their backs on him. So everybody's like, you know what? We're going to move forward because Gensler's not going to last long. And in addition, Kraken is suing the SEC. So is the rest of the industry, pretty much. We're going to talk about a new lawsuit against the SEC today. So things are not looking good for the SEC and Gary Gensler. And the industry's like, yeah, we're going to keep moving forward and building and doing what we got to do. But this is big news. Now, the next bullish news item, Franklin Templeton weighs new crypto fund investing in tokens beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. What have I told you guys for years? It starts with Bitcoin. It will go to Ethereum and they will make their way down the list to the other altcoins. It's not a matter of if, it's just when. And things are progressing, guys. Year after year, we're seeing more adoption. We're seeing more move towards other altcoins, right? Franklin Templeton has been testing tokenization on Stellar. They, of course, have a Bitcoin spot ETF, and they got approved for their Ethereum spot ETF. And, all the Ether spot ETF issuers are partially approved right now. We're waiting for the final approval from the SEC. So the private fund would offer exposure to a range of cryptocurrencies and potentially provide staking rewards, the information reported. Folks, just stop for a second and think about this. Franklin Templeton, a company that existed before crypto, is going all in. They're launching financial products. They want to go beyond Bitcoin and Ether, and they're building with the technology. Do you see what's happening here? And they're not the only ones. Fidelity, BlackRock, and all the other big names, right, folks? Wall Street is here and they want exposure. If you are still sitting on the fence about crypto, you need to wake up and do your research. And that doesn't mean you go buy pumps. You have to play the market cycles, right? Buy the lows, sell the highs. Don't go buy the euphoric top and become the dumb money crowd and exit liquidity. You have to be smart. This is why I say do your research. Take some time. Skip that Netflix show. Skip that TV show and spend some hours reading up and watching podcasts like this and listening to other people who are talking about crypto, and learn as much as you can, because this opportunity won't last forever. So this is incredibly bullish, folks. I'm just blown away at what's happening as someone who got into the market in 2016. And remember, I had interviewed Sandy Call of Franklin Templeton. I'm going to try to get her back on the podcast. I interviewed her a couple months ago, and they're doing some big things. So don't be surprised if we see a Solana, XRP, Cardano, ETFs, and other financial products. It's coming, folks. Now, a great place to take your positions for the market buying Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, Solana, and other altcoins is Uphold. It's a platform I've been using since 2018. They have 260 plus cryptocurrencies. Folks, they also have precious metals such as gold, silver, palladium, and platinum that you can trade. Uphold has transparency reports. They have full reserves. They don't commingle or lend out your funds and that type of nonsense. And you can go review their audits and transparency reports. And they've been around for a long time, folks. And I've interviewed the CEO and many representatives, so I can vouch for this platform. Once again, I'm a user. So if you'd like to learn more about Uphold, check out the link in the description. Now, along the lines of the SEC taking a lot of losses, we got news today. Eleanor Terrett of Fox Business is reporting that the American Securities Association is suing the SEC for a lack of transparency surrounding its enforcement actions and failing to respond to FOIA requests. More unlawful activities by the SEC, and not only is the crypto industry suing them, but you got the American Securities Association. So again, the SEC is run by a scumbag regulator, and that is Gary Gensler, and we need change. The other thing here, attorney Fred Rispoli is reporting on the following. Remember that lawsuit that Legilex out of Texas, a startup crypto exchange, they filed a lawsuit against the SEC saying, hey, tell us what's a security and what's not. Is Ethereum a security, right? And here, Fred Rispoli said that the SEC lawsuit updates Legilex versus SEC. Unsurprisingly, SEC files motion to dismiss for same reasons that his law firm, Huddle Law, had filed a case asking is Ethereum a security or not. The briefing ends on October 2nd, so this case is long away from decision. He did mention the following, that Consensus versus SEC, so Consensus is suing the SEC. Parties were asked whether the case should be consolidated with Legilex, and both Consensus and the SEC said no. No opening motions have been filed yet, which makes me speculate the parties are trying to agree on a briefing schedule. Also means we are a long way from a decision. Now, with regards to his Huddle Law versus the SEC case, he says still for oral argument in front of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals on July 18th at 9:30 a.m. And he provided a link for folks to stream it. So incredible what is happening with the SEC, but everything's going to come to light and Gary's going to continue to get exposed. And this is why we got to keep fighting. We got to use social media to our advantage. We got to call up our representatives and write letters, call them up, do whatever you got to do, because we see Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler are losing, and we got to pile on. We got to make sure they turn around and start running the other way, right? Because they're still going to put up a fight. So we got to keep the pressure on, and we see the political pressure has been mounting. So we got to keep fighting, folks. And if you haven't seen it as yet, please check out my interview with Debtbox co-founder Shad Brannon. That interview was published earlier today, where he talked about the damages that the SEC did to his company, the way they lied to the courts and to the judge. And of course, Debtbox won this case, and it was a massive loss and embarrassment for the SEC. So I highly recommend check out that interview, guys. He tells the story, and I try to bring you guys this content so you can hear it directly from the horse's mouth. Now, guys, I opened up the podcast talking about very bullish news in that we are in a bull market. I've been telling you guys for a long time, we are in a macro bull market, not only for crypto, but stocks, real estate, and so forth. And on the stock market side, we see GameStop is going crazy. These are things we saw back in 2020. So GameStop stock, I think it hit $69, $70 today. And RoaringKitty, he's making a lot of money, and he's about to become a billionaire if he hasn't already. So he's making incredible amount of money, and you know what's going to happen. This news is going to make the rounds, the media is going to cover it, and retail is going to jump in. And they're not watching charts. They're not watching liquidity. They're not watching the RSI, whether it's overbought or oversold. They're just jumping in. But that's what happens when you don't do your research and educate yourself financially. You end up becoming exit liquidity. I'm not saying they can't make money, but you know, eventually, guys, you know the game. It happens for crypto as well. If you don't enter the right spot and you're entering with the herd, you will become exit liquidity. But my point here is we are in a bull market. So have a plan, have it written down. Where are you taking profits for which assets and much more? And I have my plan. I'm ready. One app that I'm using is the Merlin app. It gives you notifications on, the positioning of your assets and the price points, so that you can then go to the exchange and sell. So you can check out the link in the description. It's the Merlin app. So we're waiting for Bitcoin to continue moving up. And I think that big move is coming soon. And it might be a big fat candle that takes us to 90K, but we'll have to wait and see. I think this plays out over the next 2 to 3 weeks. And then the liquidity flows to the alts. But be prepared, guys. I don't know how fast this is going to go. I don't know how long this bull market's going to last. We could see the blow off top later this year or in early 2025. It's hard to predict these things, but you want to at least have a thesis looking at where we're at in the cycle. We are ahead of a schedule because Bitcoin's massive run up before the halving. So be prepared. Once again, have that plan in place. And here's another sign of how things are heating up. BNB, which is a top altcoin in the top 10 of market cap, has hit a new all-time high. I don't hold any BNB. It's the Binance exchange token. But hey, it's moving, and it looks like it's going to go above $800 according to analyst Crypto Wizard. So once again, be prepared. If you're holding BNB, you should have a plan, right, guys? And if you're not holding BNB, look at the charts and see where the liquidity is flowing. It may hit your token next, and it will start to rally, right? All of these tokens don't often rally at the same time. They go in phases because the liquidity is moving from different tokens. And once again, it goes back to the overbought or oversold scenario, the RSI. You got to pay attention to things like that. And here, Rect Capital shared this great chart, which outlines how the capital or the liquidity flows through the market. Something I've been telling you guys for a long time. Starts with cash, which goes into Bitcoin, then which flows down to the large caps, ETH, and then mid caps and small caps. So rinse and repeat. And once you understand these things, you will know how to better position yourself to make money. All right, folks, that's the news. Very bullish news. I hope you are as excited as I am. I'm looking forward to taking profits, guys. And I'm here to make money. Don't get me wrong. I'm staying for the technology. I think this is absolutely the future, the next layer in the internet. But make no mistake about it, my first priority is to make money. And I'm not ashamed of that. I'm trying to get more financial freedom for myself and my family. and save up for retirement, pay off debts, all that stuff, and reinvest as well into other assets, and position myself for, once again, more financial freedom where I can do what I want and I don't necessarily have to go work at some job I hate or whatever it may be. And that doesn't happen overnight. It takes years. You work, you build up your nest egg, you position yourself in something like crypto, and as Paul Tudor Jones said, it's the fastest horse in the race where you can make incredible returns, right? But this won't last forever. We've seen with gold and different things, as more liquidity comes in and more people buy the asset, doesn't have the same level of volatility, won't have the same level of run up, because then it becomes mature and more people own the asset, right? So crypto is still early, relatively early to other asset classes and their timelines. So be prepared, folks. And once again, I'm not just here for this cycle. I'm here for future cycles. I'm going to ride this thing and squeeze out as much juice as possible out of this orange, folks. All right, folks. Don't forget to grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto, on Amazon. A link will be in the description. You can buy it via paperback as well as digital. Grab a copy to support the podcast. If you bought a copy already, please leave a review, and also grab a couple copies for your friends and family. Give it as gifts if they want to learn about crypto. It'll help them to better understand what happened in the past, where we're at right now, and what the future of crypto looks like. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and I'll talk to you all later.